easy to get distracted. Or get interrupted.
You got 30 seconds.
Okay.
About 30 seconds. 10 seconds.
We'll start.
10, 9, 8.
Uh,
Light of 1,000 suns shine through. Live the life of grace that you were meant to. May the light of 1,000 suns shine through. Live the life of grace that you were meant to.
Well, good morning. Please join us with our opening song, One Great Power.
there's just one power we all can share. One great power everywhere. One great power, one great love. Big as the ocean and the skies up above. One great spirit waiting prayer. One great power everywhere. There is one great power everywhere. One great power
That's my cue. Welcome. I am Amber Boren, the Youth and Family Education Director here at Unity, and I am speaking today for Dennis, who is on vacation with his son and daughter-in-law. And I want to welcome all of you here in person. Thank you for coming out today on this Sunday. And I want to welcome also everybody who is watching online. Here at Unity, we like to demonstrate our commitment to prayer, and we do that in two ways. One is with our prayer vessel. If you have some prayer requests, go ahead and put those inside our prayer vessel here, or we have a prayer box out in the hall, and we'll pray over those for a week, and then we send those off to Unity Village, where they will pray over them for a month. And I really do encourage you to do that. The power of prayer is really strong, and that's something we want to bring and embrace in our lives here at Unity. And we also have our prayer chaplain program. And do we have our prayer chaplains today? Could I have you stand up? Thank you, Maribel. Thank you, Blossom. All right. And I also encourage you, if you have some heavy burdens that are on your heart or your mind, really to reach out to Maribel or Blossom or any of the other prayer chaplains. They do provide a sense of comfort and prayer in that time that you really do need it. And right now, I would like to invite Geraldine and Zaya up to light our candle. And as we are lighting our candle, it's just a reminder of that divine spark, that fire of our aliveness that burns inside each one of us. This is how it always is. Anytime the kids help, you just got to roll with what happens and what is. So that's what we're doing today. Oh, yeah. Anybody have a lighter?
I did yesterday.
Woo! Sometimes it takes a few tries, right? Hey. Yep. You can tilt the candle too, maybe. You know, just like it sometimes takes a lot of effort on our part to light that divine spark inside of us. Woo! All right, all right. All right. And now, let's just collect our energies. Bring them back in here, right into where you are. If you'll join me in an opening prayer. And let's just breathe. We're going to breathe and just be here in this room for the next hour with all of our collective energies, however that looks and feels and however it shows up. Divine Mother, Father, Spirit of God, we are truly grateful to be alive, to be here in this moment, right now. And we ask that you light that fire inside of us so that every single one of us burns comes with aliveness. And we feel our aliveness in each moment. And we bring that aliveness and that love and that spirit of the divine in all that we do and all that we say. And we ask for you to lighten our hearts and lighten our minds so that we can move through this earth and through this life with more ease of being, with more compassion, and with more gratitude. And so it is. Namaste.
So please join us in our sing-along, I Am a Point of Light.
Savage, and I'm the celebration assistant today for Amber. I'm so excited. Welcome to Unity Center of Spiritual Growth, where all people who wish to worship here are welcome. We strive to live love and uplift lives. We are an inclusive and affirming church. We bless people of all races, sexual orientations, colors, political beliefs, or anything else they or you may have been judged on in the past. We simply welcome everyone who wants to pursue their spiritual path. Let me introduce our musicians for today. We have, of course, Gwen and Paul and Julie Pinkerton on the... Judith. I'm sorry. Why did I say Julie? Because I was thinking of her. Judith Pinkerton is joining us. Also, Laura Weintier. Thank you for leading us in song. Back on sound, we have Jim Sullenberger. PowerPoint, we have Brian Wright. And video streaming, we have Joe Ornelas. Okay.
Tammy,
Yes?
sorry. We've also got the extra boys in the back here, the young boys in the back. So.
Oh, we have boys in the back. Can you guys stand up and wave? Yay! Kylan, Dorian, and Lennon. Yay. It's kind of fun back there, isn't it, guys? It really is, actually. It's kind of fun back there. Okay, and we want to thank everybody who makes this Sunday service happen. We appreciate all of you because it takes a lot of volunteers for a Sunday service. Thank you. If we have anybody here for the first time, we want to thank you for being here. We are glad to have you join us, and we hope you'll have a great time. We have a welcome packet for you. If you want to raise your hand, one of the greeters will bring it to you. And also welcome to you folks who may be here for the first time on live stream. You can let us know you're here by clicking the Connect with Us tab on the website. You can submit your contact information, a prayer request, or request for information by clicking on the Connect with Us link. It is available on the Synopsis tab in the website streaming window. Hopefully, you all saw the announcements describing the upcoming activities on the screen before the service. I don't know why we say that. Nobody does. We're all busy yakking. Anyway, if not, they're listed in your program and on the website. Please join us and get involved. It's a great way to get to know all of these wonderful people. Let me draw your attention to a few of them, however. Okay. Join us on September 17th. That's next Sunday. It's Everything Sunday. What does that mean? Everything. Everything is going on next Sunday. Okay. This special service takes place outdoors, so we're going to be outside. It features a blessing of the water ceremony. So everybody's going to bring the water that they remembered to collect on all their various adventures this summer, and we're going to bless them and put them all together. Now, I have about 4 vials at home, and I'm really hoping that I remember them on the kitchen counter before I come here. After the service, there'll be a step-up ceremony for our youth, and that is, no, there's not. It's the next week.
We crossed it out.
There was too much everything?
There's too much everything.
There was too much everything, so never mind. The next Sunday we'll catch that. A community burger feed with beef and veggie options plus hot dogs. So dress warmly because it's Everything Sunday. We could get a mix of everything. Bring a side dish or salad or dessert to share. Join Reverend Dennis Ashley and Amber Boren for a weekly discussion poking fun at the divine while taking a deeper look at our relationship with God. Bring your beverage of choice, whatever fills your divine cup, and join them each Wednesday for God and coffee. And I hope it does. It has a time on the back, in the back of my head. Okay, good. Julie Croteau, you stand up for a second. Divas, Diamonds, and Desserts is a benefit concert featuring the vocal talents of Julie Croteau, Gwen Gathercole, Julie Powell, and Debbie Ray. This evening of music features a live auction.
Yes.
Oh, cool. And a dessert bar?
Yes.
Okay. All proceeds go to the Unity General Fund.
Yes.
And who's selling tickets?
Me.
Okay.
I have tickets.
So it's how much?
$20 unless you have a family, and then it's $30 for your whole family.
So bring the whole family.
Okay, so bring them.
That's right.
And they all get in for $30. So also we're going to do a small live auction, but if you have something that you think would be appropriate on a live auction that you would like to donate to the church, please see me, because we are taking items or things or lake houses, vacations, or anything like that you can think of. We are doing that. So this is all going to support this church, and all the beautiful things that this church does. So let me know, and if you want a ticket after service, I have them.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. Kathy, are you going to donate a baked good for the auction? I think you should. That was for you, Jim Sullenberger. Okay. The books, toys, and games in the nursery could use a refresh. Therefore, if you have lightly used items appropriate for small children, please consider donating them. There is a special need for 25-piece puzzles. Yes. Unity this is important. Unity is serving as overnight host for Family Promise at the Presbyterian Church in Post Falls. Our week of service is from October 22nd to October 29th. Consider lending a hand to those less fortunate than yourself by signing up to host for a night with a friend or a family member. And this can be a lot of fun, especially if you have a friend that you want to catch up with. Say, let's host together, because there's no TV there. You get to play games and catch up with each other, and it's a lot of fun. And I have met the family that we are hosting now, and they're wonderful, and it is nice to know that we are helping them from where they are now to where they're going. The sign-up sheet is in the hall. You can talk to me after the service if you have any questions, and I'd be happy to answer them. So, it's not the first night of the month, is it? No. Good. Now, we're going to meet and greet one another, and I am going to ring the gong when we're done. So, be warned. Wasn't it? I thought so too. Yeah, okay. Every Sunday, we have someone from the congregation read us a blessing before the meditation. And today we have David. David, you want to come up?
God is in everything and everyone who existed before any Julian counts on you to make the oneness of a human family known and celebrated. We are one, we are unity.
That was perfect, David. That was perfect, David.
I invite you all to close your eyes and find that internal pause button, that button that you can push and become still and quiet, a place where you can find your center, and the place where you can just breathe and be. We practice the pause to find peace in this world that is sometimes full of chaos. And when we pause, we become the observer of our own minds and our emotions. And this pause is a way for us to connect deeper with the stillness of God that's deep in our being. And it's a moment to find quiet space inside of us, and just to be and breathe with the Spirit. And as we move into a sound meditation, the focal point should be the sound. And when your thoughts or feelings begin to wander from anything but the sound, just gently say, thinking, acknowledging that you're thinking, and bring your focus back to the sound.
Beings be safe. May all beings be well in body and mind. May all beings be at ease and happy. May all beings be free and at peace.
Thank you. Namaste. All right, guys. Thank you. Wonderful. Wonderful job. Thank you. Throughout history, our human kin have observed the natural world and our own human behavior and the cosmos to gain greater understanding of ourselves and of the reality that we live in. And today I'm going to talk about 12 spiritual universal laws that our human family have come to understand throughout the years. This goes back to ancient Egypt and Greece, and what we have observed in our world that is around us, and how the universe works. The universal laws are always working, whether or not we're aware of them or not, and so having a greater understanding of this puts us at an advantage in life. Understanding these laws of the universe can help us not only survive, but learn to really thrive in this life, in our situations, and in our relationships. And so we're going to move through these pretty quickly because there's 12 of them. And when I work with the kids, we move through things really quick. It's one thing after the next to keep our attention. And so here it might feel a little fast, but you have a handout with you. You can take it home, and so you can give some of these ideas maybe a little more thought into how they reflect in your life, they reflect in your relationships and in your situations. So the first law is the law of divine oneness, and it's the most foundational law of the universe. It says that we are all one, we're all connected, and that nothing is truly separate from us. Everything that we say, that we do, that we think, that we feel, affects each other, affects one another, affects our situations, and that everything is all interconnected. And here, this is what we call unity consciousness. And there's a strength in knowing that no matter what happens in our physical reality, that we're never separate from the divine. That source inside of us is within each of us at every single moment. And it's within each and every single one of us here. And a lot of times we forget that. We spend our lives walking around, doing things, trying to survive, going, to the bank, to the grocery store, a list of to-do lists. And we often forget that the woman at the grocery store checkout is divine. That the man maybe taking your money at the gas station is divine. That the person yelling at the postal worker at the post office is divine. We forget those things in our humanness. But applying the law of divine oneness in real life means that we are able to find compassion for others, and that we remember to see that divine essence in everyone. And keeping the divine or God, our source, in the front of our mind throughout our day, and asking questions like, how can I be more compassionate? How can I be more accepting of those that maybe I don't understand? Or what would love do? What would God do? The second law is the law of vibration. And that everything in the universe, trees, animals, rocks, that chair there, your thoughts, your emotions are made up of energy. And that these energies vibrate at different frequencies. Things vibrate in different ways, and it's how we vibe with each other. The vibes that we get from different situations, how we get along. It's an energetic connection, and specifically in our relationships, there are people who we really connect with, who we meet and you just kind of hit it off and you vibe and you say, oh yeah, that person and I, we really get each other. But then there's also the opposite of people you meet and we're like, we don't really vibe. I don't really get them. I don't know where they're coming from, or I don't feel this person, or you even feel a little bit of resistance to them because your vibrations are different and your vibrations don't match up with someone. And becoming aware of this vibrational match or dismatch can really help us in our relationships to learn to bring more compassion, more harmony, if we can acknowledge, I vibrationally don't match up with that person, and that's okay. I may just have to work a little bit harder in order to bring some more harmony to this situation. Vibrational differences really show up with kids especially, because kids tend to vibrate at a really high, full of joy and this state of wonder, and it's that their aliveness is awake. Kids' aliveness is awake. And it can easily become this exuberant outburst of joy, which sometimes as a parent or in working with kids is in direct opposition if you're feeling frustrated with the grind of life. And so sometimes we meet this vibrational difference that we're not matching up with our kids because they're vibrating high off of joy and excitement, and we're down here with the pressures of life. And so what happens is we react to that vibrational difference. And we react out usually in negative ways, with anger or with frustration. And so just being more mindful of where you're vibrating at. And so something I like to do with my kids is every time they come in, we do a thumbs check-in. So it just means that I ask kids on a scale, where are you at emotionally right now? Where are you feeling? And I want all of you to think about where you're at on their thumb scale. Maybe you're feeling here, you're vibing high, or maybe you're not. Maybe you're here. And that's okay too. And so we do that thumb check-in so that we all can be aware of where each other are at. Anybody brave enough to show me where their thumb is at? All right, all right. Woo! I like it. I like it. And also with vibration, if your life appears to be out of order, it usually means that your vibration is out of alignment with the loving energy of the universe. If your life is thriving, and it means that your vibration is aligned with the loving energy of the universe. So always ask yourself, where am I in alignment with the loving vibration of the universe? All right. Next is the law of action. And this just says that we must take action to make things happen. And every action that we take creates a result. And we must engage in actions that support our spirit, that support our thoughts, our emotions, and our dreams. The heart center tells us what we want, and our mind helps figure out how to take action on that. And how often in this life do we know deep down that we want something? We just know it at the core of our being that we really want something, yet we take no solid action to move towards what we really want. We just wish or we pray for it. But this law of inspired action is about taking those real actionable steps to invite what you want into your life. Because inspiration comes from our soul, and inspired action is a gentle internal nudge. It's not always a plan of action, but it's faith that that inspiration will come when you are aligned with who you are, which is divine. Every single one of you here is divine. And practicing this law is about slowing down and getting quiet and creating space for this divine guidance to come forward. And when we let go of the need to arrange and control how things will work out, and instead are open to all the possibilities, it makes room for new ways of achieving our goals that we might not have considered otherwise. Because every action you take either brings you closer to your personality or closer to your soul. Next, the law of correspondence. And this law says that our outer world is a mirror of what's happening inside of us. If your life is chaotic and fearful, it's because there is chaos and fear inside within you. If your life seems calm and grounded, it's because we feel peace within us. And we say, as within, so without. As without, so within. Because our life is nothing more than a reflection of our state of mind and our state of our heart. And if you want to change your mind, or your life, you need to change your thoughts, your mind. When we become aware that life is a mirror, we can use that to show us the lessons that we need to learn and that we need to help transform us. In any troubling situation, asking yourself and asking, what can I learn from this? What can I learn about myself or someone else? And what requires healing in this moment? Because when we notice the beauty that's outside of the world, we'll start to notice the beauty that's inside. And when we notice the beauty that's inside, we find more of the beauty that's outside. And it keeps happening that way, where it grows. The beauty inside grows, the beauty outside grows. And I keep pointing this, guys. Never mind. Sorry. Talking to the booth. Next is the law of cause and effect. And this law highlights the direct relation between our actions, taking those actions, and events. And that every action also produces a reaction. Large actions usually mean large effects. In our life, our thinking is what causes our experiences, and our effects, and are the effects of our thinking. We often can't see the effects of our actions right away, but they always manage to come back around. Because sometimes we attempt to make changes in our life by changing our experiences, but really all of our negative experiences that happen in this life are the effects of our thinking, how we view this situation. And so one of the most powerful tools for shifting your thoughts is through the power of prayer, which we believe in here at Unity. Praying for a different perspective, seeing things from a different way, seeing things from love, seeing things from patience and a growth mindset. And we trust that every action will have a reaction, whether that's good or bad. And that what you put out there may not come back to you in the moment, but that vibration, that energy that you put out there has a ripple effect. And that if you're coming from a place of anger and resentment, you put that energy out into the world, and eventually you're going to feel the effects of that. Some of us call that karma. So I ask just to make the choice to put out more love, put out more kindness, put out more forgiveness, because that is what then you will get back in return. And next is the law of divine compensation. And so the universe is always responding to the energy that we put out, like I just mentioned. And that with every action, with our thought, with our emotion, we're creating an equal measure of things that will come back to us. We usually say this, you reap what you sow. And the law of compensation reminds us that blessings and abundance are rewarded to us in the forms of gifts, money, inheritance, friendships, opportunities. And the law of compensation closely relates to the law of attraction and the law of correspondence. That when you put the effort in positively, you'll get something back positive. And if you're seeking something, that you must contribute it towards that with the law of action towards your goal. And that what you give others shall be given to you. But also what you withhold from others shall be withheld from you. If you offer your highest and best to everyone and everything in life, you'll be rewarded with the highest and the best as well. So to bring more love and support into your life, you ask yourself, where am I being called to serve and to support others today? How can I bring more love into this situation so that I get more love back into my situation? Next is the law of attraction. And this law, just which we're most familiar with, says that like energies attract like energies. We think of attraction as like a magnet, something that we are magnetically drawn to. And we create the events and things and people into our lives with our thoughts and our feelings and our actions. And that the energy that's behind those thoughts, behind those feelings, is what we're going to attract. So if your thoughts are dark and frustrated and your feelings are dark and frustrated, a lot of what's outside in the world is going to come back to you as seeming very dark and frustrated. And this law of attraction is often used for people who try to use it to manifest things, because believing if I just believe that I want this, I will get this. But we also need to make sure that our thoughts are in line with that our vibration is in line with that, and that we are vibrating from a place of the remembrance that each one of us is a slice of the divine, a slice of life, and that is where we want to vibrate from. And that's when we're really truly going to attract what we want in our life, is when we become aligned with our divine source. This is why people sometimes experience a lucky streak or a downward spiral. And it's no coincidence that when things are good, things seem to get better. And when they say when it rains, it really pours, because we're attracting that same kind of energy. So if you want love but do not give love, then you're sending the universe a message about your priorities. And if you repeat affirmations about being peaceful and center and grounded, yet you don't really believe what you're saying, you're also sending a clear message to the universe as well. But when we have clarity and focus on what we want versus what we don't want, it'll show up in our lives when we shift our energy and we change the outcome, and it changes what you receive. Next is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, and that's a mouthful. And what this says is just that we have the never-ending ability to change the energy that we're experiencing. Higher vibrations can change and can consume and can transform lower vibrations. We each have the power to change the conditions of our lives by consciously raising our vibration. Our vibration determines how we view ourselves and our life circumstances. On an energetic level, everything in the universe is constantly evolving and fluctuating. And every action is preceded by a thought, and the thoughts themselves have power to manifest our physical reality. And we've all had that experience of maybe being around somebody who's just really down and in a dark, negative space, and you can feel your own positive energy depleting. But it also works the other way around. Having higher frequencies can transmute those lower ones. And this is really obvious if you've ever spent any time with kids when they tend to get down and low emotionally. They really easily can flip the switch with something small, maybe a cookie, and that completely changes the world. A cookie for me? And they've transmuted that energy with one simple cookie. Now, as adults, it gets a little bit more complicated than that, but it's still possible, just a little. But it's still possible. It is still possible to transmute those dark, heavy energies. We just have to figure out how to do that for yourself. For some people, it's taking a walk in nature. For me, I walk outside and I look at the sky and the heavens in awe of its beauty. In just pure awe. And anytime I do that, it transmutes the energy inside that I'm feeling. So if I'm feeling down or negative, I find the beauty outside, and then I find it within. Next is the law of relativity, and it states that everything is relative because we all perceive reality in our own way. So we all have our own idea of what reality looks like, what's happening, and our perception of what's happening and transpiring and how we see the world dictates how we respond to the world. So when we're experiencing hardships, we can choose to either look at it as a lesson and ask, okay, what can I learn from this? What is my reality trying to teach me? And we can take our power back and we can detach from that fearful ego, because our fearful ego is always telling us to be afraid. That everything that's happening outside and inside, we need to be afraid of. We need to be afraid of. Instead of saying and making the choice of, I'm choosing not to be afraid of that. I'm choosing to look at what I can learn from this. How can I transmute that fear? And staying connected to your heart center is one way that you can solve problems, and it strengthens the light within. And this law also suggests that we compare things in our world as we're trying to figure out, well, their reality looks like this, but I see reality is like this. And that really, we're all looking at things from our own unique perspective. And so learning just to accept and respect that what my eyes is different from maybe what Margaret's eyes see, or what Kathy's eyes see. And that's okay, that we all might see reality in a very different way, because we're all unique beings, a unique perspective of the divine. So this can help us just moving through those tougher parts of your lives to have greater compassion. If you're feeling ungrateful for a situation, saying, okay, well, how can I look at this in a different way? That what else can I bring to this situation? So instead of ungratefulness, I'm feeling gratitude. Next is the law of polarity. And this law just says that everything in the universe has its opposite. Love, fear, honesty, dishonesty, being vulnerable, being egotistical. And we can transform our lives by becoming a master of our mind. And this is achieved through eliminating that negative self-talk and concentrating on the opposite. So for every problem, there's a solution. But if your mind only sees the problem will persist. For every obstacle, there's an opportunity. But if you only think of it as an obstacle and not an opportunity, it's only going to be an obstacle. This law gives birth to new desires when manifesting, and that every time you experience something that you don't want, this law points out that to focus on what you do want. It shows you what you do want, and that does exist. And it's waiting for you to be manifested in your life, but you have to change your thinking in order to make that happen. Because all contrasts can bring more clarity. If you're facing a difficult situation like a breakup or a health challenge, for example, tune into what the opposite looks like. And that can reveal new perspectives and new lessons. Next is the law of rhythm. And rhythm is all around us. Our world is in a constant state of change. We are in a constant state of change. Everything is moving through seasons and cycles and stages of development. And just like the 4 seasons, your life has seasons too. But we often expect ourselves to be the same way all the time. And that goes for whether our thinking, our feelings, our health, our work ethic and productivity. But that's not sustainable, because our thoughts change, our feeling changes, our energy levels change, because everything is part of natural cycles in the universe. And learning how to observe and ask yourself, what are some of my rhythms? What are my cycles? What are my patterns of behavior in your life and in your relationship? And acknowledging those and seeing yourself in a different way. And knowing that the rhythm of life is going to keep moving. So for me, sometimes I know I lean really heavily in this life, especially right now, on my faith. that I have faith that the universe is working through me and for me for my highest good. And sometimes my faith swings high over onto this pendulum here, but then I also know that there are many other times that pendulum is going to come swing back in the other direction, and I'm going to have doubt in my life too. And it's those times in doubt, what can I learn from myself? What is my doubt trying to teach me? And how can I lean more into my faith so that I get my pendulum swinging back over in the other direction? Because we can rise above the challenges of our cycles by surrendering to the flow of life and letting your inner wisdom guide your thoughts and your words and your actions. And last is the law of gender, that everything has a masculine and feminine energies. And the divine feminine represents our heart, the part of our consciousness that connects us with qualities like intuition and feelings and emotion, our spirituality. And this is in direct opposite of the divine masculine energy, which dominates the mind and connects us to qualities like logic and authority, confidence and action taking. And these energies must be in balance for us to be in closer alignment with our authentic selves. And no one energy is better than the other. Both the divine feminine and the divine masculine need to work together in divine partnership to create solutions for the highest good. Our divine feminine receives intuitive messages from our divine source through our heart. And our divine masculine takes action on these intuitive messages. However, society has traditionally favored masculine qualities over feminine qualities. But right now, I think, is a real shift for us. It's a shift in a time for us to really restore that connection to our divine feminine and to restore balance in our lives. And that just means becoming more heart-centered in our actions instead of mind-centered, where we've been for many, many years in our human history. And so in order to achieve your own balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine, we need to be aware of what energy you're bringing to a situation. Is it more masculine, head-centered energy, or is it more feminine, heart-centered energy? And then determine what energy you can bring to that situation in order to create more balance. And so those are the 12 universal laws. I know I went through them really quickly, and it's a lot. There's no need, though, to feel overwhelmed by all of it. It's really just a matter of being aware that these laws exist and understanding how they make sense to you, and also begin to maybe observe in your life and in your relationships and look at them through the lens of some of these universal laws, and to learn how you can work with them in your day-to-day life and situations. Because there's only one corner of the universe that you can be certain of improving, and it's your own self. Thank you.
Wow, that was great. You know it's a good message when I'm going, well, I'm going to have to run this off and give it to this person, this person. So it was a good talk. Thank you very much. It's come to love offering time, and I don't know if you were listening to all of those that applied to prosperity, but here we are. And we are prosperous, and we take in prosperity, and we give generously for prosperity. So we have Lennon is going to read our offering blessing. If you're here for the first time, please know that we don't ask you to give. Instead, please just be our guests. If you're watching online, you can contribute by clicking the Give button in the website streaming window, and your offering will be very secure. So come on up, Lennon.
The universe operates using the divine law of compensation. It asks us to give freely without expectations, and you will receive gifts, rewards, success, and abundance. When you give, you will receive more than you can imagine.
These are the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? All the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? Love, are you ready? Are you ready? Joy, are you ready? Peace, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to receive? These are the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? All the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? Compassion, are you ready? Are you ready? Forgiveness, yes, I'm ready. Are you ready? Laughter, I am ready. Are you ready? Are you ready to receive? Pastor, I am ready. Are you ready? Success, well, I'm ready. Are you ready? Abundance, I'm ready. Ready, I am ready to receive. These are the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? All the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? Are you ready to receive? Are you ready to receive?
All right. All right, let's pray over our love offering. Divine Mother, Father, Spirit of God, we're so filled with gratitude to have all of this love and abundance that just overflows. And it not only overflows into our coffers, but also into our hearts. And we put that energy, that money, that effort back into unity to each other so that we can form greater connections and deepen the spirit of love that runs through each and every one of us. And we bless every single one here and all that they have given here, whether that's with their money, their time, their effort, their energy, or their love. For it all matters and makes a difference. And we say thank you. Namaste. All right. We are not inviting the kids in, right? while they're ready? Well, you know what? Let's just invite them in. Let's go.
It's the light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. It's the light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. It's the light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. Let it shine. Oh, everywhere I go. I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go. Oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Sisters and my brothers, we're gonna let it shine. Yeah, my sisters and my brothers, we're gonna let it shine. My sisters and my brothers, oh, we're gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Oh, let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
All right. So before I pass it off to Jen, I would just like everyone to give the kids a hand again, because it takes a lot of courage to get up and read the blessings, to work in the tech booth. Yeah. So thank you for being courageous. And now I'm going to pass it off to Jen.
Hi, today we talked about kindness, and we went outside and we were painting and talking about kind things we could do and say for each other. And Maisie is going to read our kindness quote that we have.
You can always give something, even if it's kindness.
Thank you. All right, if you guys want to go back. And that is true. We can always give our kindness.
And that was Anne Frank, too.
Nice.
All right, thank you. We'll wait for the kids to get back. And now if you'll stand and join me in the